AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit. Hobby Habit's restocked for the summer with disc golf equipment. Get outside, enjoy this wonderful weather, and get all of your disc golf supplies at Hobby Habit in LaGrange just for the fun of it. I got out last night and took some pics at the LHS JV softball game. Man, it was beautiful yesterday. The JV girls would go on to lose both games to Baker. I'm not even sure what the score was because I was just enjoying myself shooting pictures and having a good time. The JV girls play again this Friday. LHS baseball dropped both games last Friday to Pendleton in Pendleton, 16-2 and 11-2. They sit at 3-3 in the GOL, and they go to Baker this Friday to take on the Bulldogs in a GOL doubleheader at 2 p.m. The LHS softball team moved into the number one spot in the state with an awesome sweep in Pendleton on Friday. The girls are 19-0, and they're no doubt the number one team in the state at this point right now in the season. They beat the Bucks 7-5 and 11-5, and they go to Baker this Friday as well to take on the Bulldogs in a doubleheader with the first pitch at 2 p.m. EOU baseball concluded their season with a win and 3 losses in Caldwell versus the Yotes over the weekend. They finished 13-36, 9-28 in the CCC, which isn't bad. I'm going to keep saying that. This baseball team's had a lot of diversity, and they just continue to kind of get better. EOU track and field went to the Boise State Twilight meet on Friday. We'll talk more about that on Thursday. And then finally, man, EOU softball, what a weekend. Wow. First thing we're going to talk about is on Saturday, they celebrated their 9 seniors. It was awesome. Some of these girls I've been with for their whole college career, and senior day is always hard for me, especially if it's a sport where I've really connected to families like the Tyree family. It makes it kind of hard for me, but at the same time, it's time for them to grow up and become, adults. And not saying they aren't adults now, but let's get back to Mountie softball this weekend. They hosted number 1 Southern Oregon University, number 1 in the country, Southern Oregon University. They were a little flat to start, but the first game went 15 innings. It was crazy. Back and forth. I think the Mounties gave up 4 runs in the first couple innings, and we're down 4-0. Emily Berry hits a grand slam home run in the 6th. Maddie Olson follows that up with a solo blast to tie it up at 5. We end up going 15 innings, and in the 15th inning, tied at 7, Madison Olson hits a 2-run home run to walk it off for the Mounties in Game 1. We move into Game 2. And they only got 5 innings in Game 2 that night because it started getting dark. And so we suspended the game after 5 with the Mounties up 5-3. They picked it up Saturday morning. EOU goes on to win that. So at this point, the Mounties have already won the series. They won the first 2 games. So the conference series is won. And all they have to do is win Game 3 and they're CCC champions. And they couldn't get it done. They ended up losing both the next 2 games by a run and 2 runs, and actually moved to 3rd in the CCC because of it, because OIT and Southern tied with 4 losses apiece, and then we had 5. We would have had the tiebreaker with OIT, so we would have got to host the CCC tournament if we would have won, but we ended up 3rd. OIT has the tiebreaker and will host the CCC tournament this upcoming weekend down in Klamath Falls. It's super exciting, though, for this Mountie team. They're a shoe-in for the national tournament, especially, they only lost 1 series all year, and that was the Carroll weekend, and their number 1 pitcher, Kylie Parsons, was out for the weekend. They won the series against the number 1 team in the country. They won the series against the number 2 team in the country. And they've proved once again that they're a top 10 team in my eyes. There's no question. I like being outside the top 10, though, because they're going to keep second-guessing us. I'd like to go to the CCC tournament this weekend and make some noise and secure a 2 seed going into the national tournament. Tomorrow on EO Live Sports, EOU softball senior Maddie D, Madeline Durham, and junior Emily Berry will join me to talk about the season, the upcoming conference and national tournaments, and about their why. Why EOU softball? Check this out.
First off, the town is just amazing. The community is awesome. And then the people that you meet here, from all sports, I've met people, they're just so amazing and they will be in my life forever. That's the biggest thing for me. Softball wise, it's fun. It's awesome. It's competitive. Your coaches care about you deeply and they want us to succeed and they want you to succeed, and it's all you could dream for.
The community, you can't beat it. They're our neighbor next door. She's 80 years old. She comes to our games.
I love that.
She doesn't know anything about softball, and she comes. She shows up. People show up all the time, and it's just, you can't beat it. We never had that community at Northwest, and like, even if you don't know softball, like Eastern is, or LeGrand is cheering for you. LeGrand wants you to compete, and small town, and we're so close. There's not much to do, but you always have your friends. You always have a house to be at, and we're gonna have fun. We're going to watch movies during the week. We're always there, and someone's always there to love on you, because my family's 6 hours away.
Yeah.
My girls on my team, they are my family, and they're great. Everyone, the community here is unbeatable.
This EOU softball team is not only one of the most talented teams that Coach Christian's ever had, but they're also their chemistry on this team is different, man. It's exciting. They all like mesh really well, and I look for them to make a run at the national tournament. Maybe hopefully get to the final site and compete for a national championship, because they can. I mean, like I said, they won the season series against the number 1 team in the country and the number 2 team in the country. So, yeah, if you can get on EOA Sports, EOU Athletics, excuse me, and find all the information for the conference tournament, the national tournament, and where you can watch it. AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it.